What's going on, guys? Kigerr here, and today we're doing a breakdown of my Scarlet Witch infographic. Tell you why I made my choices and other things you can do. Let's jump into it. Alright guys, getting into it, this is my Scarlet Witch infographic. You can find it in my Discord link down below. There's an infographic section, has everything I put out, including data mines and everything I find in the game. As a reminder, these infographics are focused at the people who want to try out the character, who just want to test it out in the 1 to 1.5 million range. Not a big spender, as you can see. It's mostly not special cards and some options all around. So jumping into it, Dimension Duel, I think the best special for Steampunk and regional is Hydra. Hydra and there's another one, Xanderth, I believe, have the same 4-piece, but I like this 3-piece for Hydra better. And best stats, I have PvP decrease, defense pierce, stamina recovery, which you'll notice is a hassle for her. Crit damage and PvP increase. I like Ultron on her. As you'll see, she's very dodgy, likes to go in and out a lot. And Ultron just helps you make it to your next spell. Then we have our Omega cards. Crit rate, defense pierce, crit rate, defense pierce. Crit damage, defense pierce, crit damage, defense pierce. Cooldown, crit damage. Her skills here, you actually have several good options on her. A couple of these are mandatory. This first one is pretty mandatory. Witch's Darkness, Witch's Descent. This makes you invulnerable, go right through them. Put out several orbs that track, really good tracking. Does decent damage. If another one hits, it does more damage. And lowers their defense. Next, we go into over here. Hex Projection, Hex Force Field. Now, this is an AoE, and you're wondering why are you using AoE inside Dimension Duel. That's because it's got better range, it's quicker cooldown, quicker cast time, and gives the same shield that Projection would give. Then we go into Chaos Magic, Chaos Sphere. This is just really quick, big damage, curse, damage over time, just mess them up. It seems like it has a high cooldown of 23 seconds, but as you build up your cooldown, it ends up being 11.5, and you'll see once we talk about this red specialization right here, it actually becomes less than that. Then we talk about Shape of Terror, Shadowy Terror. 26-second cooldown, so it's 13 seconds at max, less with the red specialization, but it makes you vanish for 3 seconds, go invisible. So now we're down to 10-second cooldown. And you're invincible for 1 second. So now we're down to 9-second cooldown. So it's really, you'll notice this with her. Her cooldowns are kind of long, but everything kind of plays into allowing you to get those cooldowns back quicker and allowing you to last till that next cooldown. Last but not least, we're using Language of Demise, Gift to Silence. This is chosen because it has the fastest speed to get that silence, and all these attacks are in order for a specific reason. You do the descent, now you're behind them, now you're on top of them, you hit them with the AoE, then they're moving away, you hit them with the range skill, then you go invisible, get up on them, silence, and now you should have some other skills ready to go again. Next, let's talk about the traits and why I picked them. So first here we have Mystic Witchcraft Dodge. It gives you movement speed, which is one of the key things against a Spider-Man matchup, which no one else gets. And then once that speed goes away, it gives you cooldown back, which is pretty ridiculous. 2.5 seconds, which as you saw before, 9 seconds, 11 seconds, so 2.5 seconds off of that is really huge. Next we're using, where's it at? Hex Magic Energy Equivalent Exchange. it's the same exact copy paste as what Iron Man has. Uh, all your skills do more damage, but increases the stamina cost, which is why stamina is our third most important stat in PvP. Then we go into Mystic Witchcraft, Mystic Stamina. Recover stamina every 5th skill used. So as you go through your skills, you get some stamina back, which works really well with your first one right here, the red one, because you're using more skills, which gives you more stamina, which gives you more skills, which gives you more stamina. Last but not least, up here, Hex Domination. Increase your damage to a mobile or status effect. Our main status effects are defense down, damage over time, and silence. So 3 of our 5 skills do status effect, so we should usually have that up. Other options here, you have one down towards the bottom that gives you immune to status effects. You have another specialization that gives you more damage and a different situation, but these are the ones I went with for Dimension Duel. Next, let's get into Omega War. Alright, so with her Omega War, a lot of this is the same outfits, same stats, same cards, and same specializations. The main things that changed were the 5th skill, which if you look is the same skill, but a different version of it. This one does not silence, but it heals you off damage done. Which, if you want to go with the silence, you can do something like Ultron with silence, so you can survive. The heal here is it's still an AoE, but it heals you so you don't need to go get those crystals. And you get to do something like Mighty Thor, which I like her a lot, one of my favorites right now. She can just kill waves of people on her own if done right. And like I said, the cards are the same and the specializations are the same. Last but not least, PvE. So for PvE, things swap up a bit. Our best stats are defense, pierce, supervillain damage, stamina, which is still going to be a big thing, crit damage, and total damage. I like Punisher in PvE. There is in certain matchups, like if you're facing Laufey, MODOK, Thanos, things like that, Mighty Thor wins over Punisher, but Punisher is going to be your go-to. Just leave him on, let him do his job. Our armor sets changed to Rise of the East and Midgardia. That's because this is your primary PvE damage skills, whereas the PvP Steampunk and Hydra is to allow you to survive, and PvE you're not usually worried about surviving. Our cards slightly changed. These two stay the same, cooldown and crit damage, and then we have supervillain damage, defense pierce, supervillain damage, defense pierce. A bunch of our skills stayed the same. 1-3 stayed the same. The things that changed here was number 2, which instead of a shield, it just does a bunch more damage, which is what we want. We just want to kill the guy as fast as possible. Number 4 is different. This is very similar to our number 3 that does a chunk of damage. This also does a chunk of damage, but has a small AoE to it, so you can use it for some wave clear. And number 5 is what I think is very interesting here. She does some damage on the skill cast, then summons a clone of herself, which shoots a beam at her. PvP, they'll never let you get away with it, because they will cut you away, whatnot. And as long as you stay around, similar to Captain Marvel's beam, it will boost you, giving you flat attack bonus, which is pretty ridiculous. And then as far as the traits, 2, 3, and 4 stayed the same. The only thing that changed was number 1, which is Essence Aptitude. It's whenever you use a Hex Energy type skill, which we got 2 of right there, it increases your supervillain damage by 30% for 8 seconds with a 15-second cooldown, so you can monsterize some PvE. And what's interesting is that also increases things like Punisher, like Mighty Thor, because they go off of your stats. So if your supervillain damage goes up, then those things go up as well. Let me know in the comment section down below if you think I missed anything, if you disagree with anything, and who you want to see next. Till next time, guys.